fact that she can freaking do this choreo with what she's wearing, insane.
I know something ain't right. You've been acting funny lately. You ain't gotta lie. Got me out here looking crazy. What you tryna hide? Baby, I can't take it. You can't take it. Something ain't right.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we finally have a choreo video for Something Ain't Right by XG. It is also confirmed that Sienna was the one who choreographed this. I knew it when I felt it in my soul. Sienna is such an investor in groups, and I love the fact that she's still with XG through and through, and I personally know her, and it's really nice to be able to just support her as a colleague in this scene and celebrate what makes her movement quality so great, especially on a group like XG. Cannot wait to dive into this. Let's go ahead and get started.
Something ain't right. You've been acting funny lately. You ain't gotta lie. Got me out here looking crazy. What you tryna hide? Baby, I can't take it. You can't take it. Something ain't right. I know something ain't right. I feel you creeping. I don't need to be right there, boy. The way you're moving, things you're doing just ain't fair, boy. Now every time I call your name, the way you answer ain't the same. Yeah, baby, it's you.
The fact that she can freaking do this choreo with what she's wearing, insane. Oh man. Oh my god. Like, Sienna, you're wild for this. Oh my god, that's amazing. I'm about to grow a lot as an analyst looking through this. Okay, here we go. God, this is such good choreo. From the setup. Well, we got to talk about a couple things. To make the choreo, like, shout out to XG and how they freaking clean, because we know they've trained together years and years and years before they even debuted. This I know. Watch the documentary. I'm in on it. Second thing, they, during that time, have gotten very familiar with Sienna's movement quality. It is very difficult to do if you are not familiar with it. So that is implicit at this point. Love it. You can see it. You can sense it. They have a structure and a system in how they operate. Thirdly, some of these movements that they do in this are intentionally done awkward for the sake of the aesthetic of the concept. That is so freaking hard to do. One thing is to look awkward, and you do look awkward. Second thing is to look awkward but look good looking awkward. That is way harder. And they do it freaking well. And it's just, it blows my mind on this choreo. Oh my God. And then Sienna made it. Like, the thing is like this whole setup right here. And then also there's this little groove that you end up seeing in the first verse. That's a Sienna pocket. So it's like, I had a feeling, somebody did say in my comments that it could have Lady Bounce influence, which, you know, after they said that, I was like, maybe Vessi had a hand in it. Because I know Lady Bounce is affiliated with their tour. That I understand. However, I also am always an advocate for stick with your guns with who you have on your team. Just like 17, I always want Choi Young-jun affiliated. I want Sienna always on with XG. It's because the relationship's there, and because you get to celebrate stuff like this for the things that I just said. They've taken the time to implicitly understand her movement quality, so we get these types of results. That takes years. You don't get this in a 2 weeks, you know? God, this is so cool. Let's talk through it. Here we freaking go. Something ain't right, just poses super fine. We go, we expand out, boom, with the accent. We love it. Great start so far. You've been acting slowly, slow with a travel up, with a flick. We love it. You don't want to go too hard because you don't have a lot of sound to operate out of anyway. Just vocals and that, which is super fun. We love it. But having these little subtle accents, perfect time to use them is in this moment. It's this building. You can naturally clock your feature here in the beginning, and then you're able to have these accents in play to help embellish and add ornament to it. And they all turn out really nice. And I like how we go into, I mean, they're a group of 7, so it's gonna have an easier time maintaining symmetry in these choices, which works. Now, having your 3 in your diagonal, of course, she's your natural clocked feature. You have your diagonal here and diagonal here. Cool. In a freaking parking garage. I'm sending. Goodness. Got me out here looking crazy. You know, y'all are freaking crazy. Y'all look crazy. I love it. It's so good. Like, I could not wear that. Like, Walmart has nothing on this. You know, this is amazing. Yeah, boom, boom, crazy, boom with the turn. The walk. Harvey, my God, girl. What in the world is she wearing? Like, what? How did those stay on? Those, I think, like... You know what I mean? Like, I have so many questions, but I love the fact that they were like, let's pull a freaking clean AF choreo while looking like somebody who's 4 years old stressing up their Barbie in all of their outfits that they bought. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's so cool. I love this little accent with the hip that she took there. Yeah, I can't take it. You can't fake it. Ooh, subtlety of the ISOs is so nice. Something ain't right. I love her choice on that. Yes, ma'am. And then we hit on the accent, and then we go. We're moving on. Do-do-do-do-do. Really nice. Mine's popping off. I feel you creeping. Creeping, boom, boom. Notice there's an accent that she's using, not just with the head, but she's letting the body be influenced off of it as well, but we still have that staccato accent on the tail end. Super nice. What everybody else is doing, all this, they're doing like a double tap of the foot as they're shifting their weight. It's little things like that. It's not just a sway, it's a double tap sway. So it's definitely more syncopated and more complex that way. Watch. You should see it from, if you catch Jurin doing that, right? Super cool. Yeah, switch, and they match what Maya's doing. And she goes into like this really nice, just syncopated, not even a Harlem Shake, because there's no groove in it that matches that, but the pattern is something you would see in a Harlem Shake. And then there, oh boy, and she throws it away. Very nice. And the way you move it, she goes more legato. They have nice little hops and trots. Like, God, it's so random. I love it. And the swing. Super cool. And they have Kokona. Like, I love this makeup on her like this. Just this nice little streak effect. So sick. I love it. And then she has her subtlety, absence of movement, which is a subtle hinge around everybody else. It's a little bit more extroverted. Makes sense and helps you clock your feature. Name, and I like how they all look. Boom, boom. Hitting it over. Boom, boom. And they go tap, tap, tap with the feet. And they go in and in to make it more of an intimate conversation on the tail end. Yeah, I figured you out, boy. I figured you out. That's polyrhythm, because you're stepping out and you're pressing off on their right foot as they move, and they're doing their chest and rotating it around. And done it right on Kokona's words. Da, da, da. Oh my God. So freaking cool. And it's clean. And notice right there, figures you, and she goes, oh boy. And they go, and they, my God, this is so fun to talk about. And then they end up doing, they're not even doing a trace, but they just end up smoothing out the upper body while they're keeping up with the lower half. Like, that is so impressive. Discipline on that. Then this right here, we're having our nice little unhinged moment. Jurin says, here we go. She goes, hit, you're the one. And they're all these little social interactions. It's cool. They're like, we're all going to be weird together. I love this. And then here you have, who's that, Juria? Juria has her moment with Jurin, and I like how they're matching there, where you have this unhingedness happening right here. But if you notice, like, yo, to the freaking degree of the elbows, these two are in a group together. And my gut tells me these two are in a group together just by the elbows, because that's how freaking clean they are. I can tell and itemize what subgroups they're in. This is wild to me that I just freeze frame this and you can see how clean these lines are. Oh my God, so cool. Yeah, and they go, na, 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 da, da. And it does look like that Maya was joining in on Juria whenever Jurin popped off in her own way. Then you have Juria, and I love how she's swinging her leg. That's super fun, and they all are weight shifting here. So they're taking it, and they're taking their hips and moving them in opposition of the arm, and that's what creates this like whimsical effect. Of course, not just because of their outfits. Like, who would realistically wear this? Chisa would. You know, like, it's like, it makes sense too, and that's what makes it so freaking cool, is that it's like, it's not even a, like, it's a shock that this exists, but not really, you know? It feels like, of course we would have this. And I love, like, that's such a respectable thing to be able to just pull this off, and everyone literally is like, okay, cool. And then they come up, and I like that boom, boom, the subtlety of the hips, and we're bringing it up. They go, the reset with her. I know something ain't right. And this is the choreo right here. So notice they're using their lats to keep it strong so everybody hits it. They all have to have their energy placed in the same part of their body in order for that to work. So they understand that's the beauty of implicit training, or them being in a place where they can do things and it's going to naturally sit in the way that it does collectively. That is why it's so good for them to train together for a long time with good, it takes a village. So all this right here, how you get the weightiness of it, but the cleanliness is from your lats. Engage the lats as you set it up. You don't want to just think extremities, because it's going to be unreliable and your range is not going to be consistent. Think lats, and that's going to have the heaviness of it, and it's going to match your tempo. And I like how she goes here, and then she resets to the front. Oh, so fun. And I love this. You ain't got a light. And she's interacting with Maya and Kokona. It's so fun. And it goes, got me out here. So it's little got me, where we're kind of adding this little oomph in the chest. Boom, boom, to make this feel more lively. Looking crazy. So that's super fun. Oh, crazy. And that move right there is what I thought was Sienna, because I've seen her do that before. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool seeing her stuff on them. Oh, so cool. Yeah, bun dun dun, nice. And the move over, and I like this little twinkle effect because their nails are wild too. And I know this it's a culture thing. There's like a particular nail culture, and that they're just all up. They're in it. I respect them so much with the ability to be able to have all of that stuff on their nails. I can barely handle a French tip, maybe clear coat. Like, that's hard for me at times. So more power to them. And I like how they take the energy here and they twinkle it in. And then they have their moment, something ain't. And they bring it up, down. That boom, boom. In this nice little party moment. Something. You're right. There is something's not right about any of it. But that's why it works, because it's just structured enough where we have to figure something out, right? Now, I like how we had this little moment where there's some mirroring going on, even though it's a bit unhinged. And that's what makes it so interesting, is that these choices feel so awkward, right? But you have somebody that's matching the same degree of awkwardness in the same range in your spacing. That's what makes it structured, and that's what makes it work. Golly, it's so cool. Yeah, this part, like this, such an interesting groove. This is the ball change. It definitely gives like it's a ball change, it's a cross ball change energy right here. Maybe a possible pas de bourrée, but this extra bounce that's happening is so nice. I like Kokona's vibe on that. That's cool. Yeah, this is fun. And then you have this little vibe, and they're going from high to low. So you have 3 over here, and then you have all of these girls over here. She's looking and looking. Yes, ma'am. Oh, so cool. Yeah, if something ain't right, we're here for it. Yeah. And then Harvey is existing. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, and then they're all moving around the space. They're even walking on tempo. See, here's the thing. I've been talking about walking on tempo for a lot of analysis. I've just finished up Gravity's marathon on Patreon, and I talked about it a lot. There is some beauty that comes with walking on tempo, and this is a great example of it. Whenever you're going on an unhinged concept like this, there is beauty on being individualized, but also what can make it captivating is how you structure it, which is what we see here. Being so squeaky clean on really weird stuff really ups your difficulty and complexity of what you're actually looking at, which is exactly what we see here. They're walking on tempo in the back. They're not distracting. They're not just getting in their spot. They are committed to character as an extra in this scene, even though Harvey is our feature. That's the kind of stuff that I wanted to see more of in other analysis. So it's really nice that we get to talk about it here and actually apply what I was referencing in that particular era of analysis. But yeah, all this right here, we're loving it. So they all have a little pose, keeping it freeze frame as they're walking, great pace. Yep, and it's all right, it's nice. And it goes 1 and 2 and oof. And then bring it up and over, which is nice. And the hit definitely gives a little shuffle influence on that, but not really. She's across and a one time. She goes XO, love me good. I like the little hip accent on that. Read you like an open book, which is nice. So they're all doing complementary movement here. Up, down, but they're still walking on tempo. Wish you would, which is nice. Maya, of course, goes a little bit earlier, but because she's the feature, that makes sense. It's more of a moment for her, but everybody else's range is freaky in check. Must be crazy. Nice little right-left action on the hips. Yes, ma'am. Say your piece. Her vocals are really nice on this track. Super, super fun. So we sit in the hips. They are learning it technically backward. Well, she is doing it the opposite way. So because they're facing different directions, but they're going the same way with the hips, that means she's going left on the hip, they're going right. So it's nice. I love that choice. It says why? When she goes in, I like that. We go bleed it. We still have other things going on. They're literally, oh my God, this is so cool. So they're looking all this way, right? They're looking that way. They're taking their bodies and they're going, wee, that way. And then we have these girls, wee, going the same direction, but going backwards, right? And then she's living her life over here. The structure of this, everybody is doing something at all times with someone else. Oof. Yeah, the running here. And then from there, after we create the separation going forward and backward, then we go into a opposed traveling mirrored window shift. Oh God, that's so cool. Over me with a little trace across the stomach and the chest. We love that. And so now we join right back in. Chisa said, here we are. And she swings it over. Da, 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 da. Same as what we've seen. I love that hip. Great stability from her too. She doesn't waver it at all. So nice. I know something ain't right. In this part, I love this vibe on this. Yeah, something ain't right. And I love the extra groundedness of it. And part of it comes from we're adding an extra dip in these choices with the hips and in our weight in comparison to these choices. It was more of a focal point in the upper body. Now the focal point's in the lower body, which is why it feels more grounded to the floor. Love it. And then we add our shoulders on that, which is nice. Honestly, it kind of looked like she had bugles on her hands, doesn't it? It looks like she has bugles. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God. You ain't got it. Yes, show me with the finger guns, ma'am. Yeah, in the line. I love this the extra oomph on it. Yeah, it got me out here using the hips on that. Looking crazy, taking the hip up. And then right there. Now, the thing is, the camera's really shaky, so it's really hard to super get this clear. The fixed cam, golly, what I want to see on this one is a fixed cam so we can really appreciate the transitions. Because performance versions, the fact that this looks so freaking good in a performance version, I have learned fixed cams blow these out of the water 10 times over because you see everything and there's beauty in the one take of it too. So I don't know if this was intended for one take. We'll find out, but golly, this is so cool. Yeah, and they pick it up, accent, boom, and then we have it, nice little rotation on the tail end of it. Yeah, I can't take it. And little salsa steps, what it feels like, right? Yeah, and then we do a little box step. We look, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And they go boom, boom. I do think we do a little chest iso there, yeah? Yeah, boom, boom. Then we all melt out. Something ain't right. We get to do our own thing in theory, but we're matching dynamic and texture. Yeah, and nice little boom, boom, boom. Yep, and we're adding a little extra. All of our weight's on the left side, and we're Slowly propping up that heel. Oof. You go something, something. Yes, ma'am. Love it. The walks are nice. I love this extra chest on that too. And then we bounce it. And they're nice and low on it, and then she stays nice and high. Yes, Hinata. I love it. And a little hit. We're here for it. Here's something ain't right. Hop, hop. Come on. Yeah, what goes around comes back around. Like a clock. Harvey. She says, come on. And all this right here is just setting it up. I do feel like whenever we have other people in play on it, the movement is at least simpler in the formation structure of it, so we can clearly see everybody being controlled by one of our members, right? She has to have her own vibe. Party. Come on. Yeah. And then I love these walks, so freaking cool. It's just this kind of stuff, it feels like a party, but they're clean. It's stuff you don't see clean, is all of this mess right here, because it has this little extra oomph with a little extra shoulder in play that is normally individualized. But I love the subtlety with the lower level on that, and I love that it's like a freaking apocalypse outside too, and we're just living life. Yes, that's life right here. We're here for it. Looking crazy. I love that choice. Try to hide, take it. And I like the little trot. Some of these give a subtle popcorn influence, which I really like. And it's something ain't right. This is nice and fixed pointed. This travels over. No, this is fixed pointed. And this stays up to go with the body. I love that choice. Yeah. Boom, boom. And then party. Little step, ha. Now that right there, because of the hi-hat, that's why some of these choices work, because the popcorn is in her house style, and house has that little hi-hat sound, and the BPM range is right in that pocket too. So I really love this a lot for what they've added and integrated. So cool. Yeah, something. Ooh. Yeah, really cool. And just the fact that we can have a fix on that, so cool. And shout out to the video editors. I mean, that was the first time technically we got to see like a cinema light in her glasses. All the other times you don't really catch that. Super nice. Something ain't right. Yep, something ain't right. Boom, and we finish. Sheesh Louise. And I do know they filmed this at least at the crosswalk. I think they filmed Alice in Borderland there too, is what people were saying. That's so freaking sick. Like, guys, if I ever wanted a fix cam on a choreo, this would be up there as like a dire need for someone like myself, because I thrive off of fix cam one takes. And the fact that I enjoy this so much, not just because like I'm very familiar with Sienna's movement quality and XG's movement quality, but just knowing how structured this mess is, and to truly appreciate the fact that they were able to look so unhinged but cohesive. It is an art form. And not many people can pull off what they did. And so I do not mind sitting and saying XYZ as to why this is a whole vibe and a half. I had a very fun time looking at this. And yes, I will most likely try the choreography. I don't know what course though. I think we may go first one, because it's a little bit easier to see what the choreo is, but I don't know. Maybe I may wait for a fix cam. We'll never know. But anyway, this was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more XG from me, I have if you haven't seen it on YouTube, I have all the rest of my analysis on Patreon. There are quite a few that are still not released, and the entire documentary series at this point has not been launched on YouTube yet either. But as they have more comebacks, more new tracks, naturally I will have those released from the vault. But if you don't want to wait, it's right there on Patreon for you to go and enjoy. And there's fantastic discussions already started there, and I would love to have you contribute as well. I'm having a blast. We also do early release there too, so this gets launched probably about 24 to 48 hours before it goes live on YouTube as well. So if you want my firsthand as it happens moment, that's the best place to go, Patreon. Once again, my name is Jess, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.